Hi, everybody, and good afternoon. Welcome to our week number 12 Twitch live stream. It is now November, which is just hard to believe. I hope everybody had a wonderful, I almost said Thanksgiving, had a wonderful Halloween last night. I would say I hope you didn't eat too much candy, but I definitely ate a lot of candy last night. I think I gave myself a stomach ache, but I wouldn't change anything. So I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween. And again, I can't believe it's November. Feels like it usually goes really fast the second it hits November. So anyway, it's week number 12. I just wanted to have our time today where I could kind of talk about what we have going on this week. We do have our next exam this week along with our normal materials. And so that's what we will take a look at. So let's go ahead and go over to Canvas together. Thank you so much of you for those of you who are joining me live today. And if you're watching this later, thank you for that as well. But let's go ahead and head to Canvas. We, as I said, are in week number 12, which is hard to believe. We're like 3/4 of the way through our class. And again, it always feels like it flies from here. So what we'll do this week is we're looking at APA formatting. So I'll talk a little bit about what we have going on for that, a little bit about exam number 3. I will give you the Twitch extra credit question for this week as well so that you can get those extra credit points. And then we will call it a day. So if at any point you do have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat and I will of course answer them for you. So we have 3 different APA weeks that we look at throughout the course of the semester, kind of scaffolding on each other. And this one we're looking at APA formatting part 2. And so part 1 we were looking at what is APA, when do we use it, what is plagiarism and what isn't. This one we're starting to look a little bit more at like what are some general formatting rules, how do we make a cover page, what are the different sections within a paper, and the different levels and styles of headings. So now we're starting to look at some of the like logistics and specifics of APA style formatting, and you're going to have a chance to practice that a little bit in your discussion this week. So here's the summary page. On the Beyond the Book page, I have a little bit here more about APA formatting, just some kind of general rules for APA style. I have the different sections of the paper. Here is a wonderful video that I was very lucky to have this person make it before they changed positions. This person's name is Jasmine, and she made a wonderful video kind of highlighting some of the elements of APA formatting. Definitely be sure to watch this. I think it's really, really helpful. I also give you a sample cover page and some title page pieces here because that's something that we're really focusing on this week is how do we format a title and cover page. And then on the final page of key terms and review, here are the terms and concepts that you need to know from this unit for the next exam, which we have this week. So again, make sure you really do watch that video. I think that's going to be really helpful for you, along with reading through all of these things. There isn't a chapter that you're covering in the textbook this week. Instead, what I did is I scanned 2 chapters of the APA style manual. And forgive me, the scan isn't perfect. It's a little like off, but I figured that was much better than asking you to purchase this. So it should be clear enough that you can read it, but you can obviously see the book itself. But my goal was that you wouldn't have to then buy that book. So I was trying to save you a little bit of money. But you can see here, the first chapter is on kind of the paper and its elements and format. And then the second chapter that I would like you to read is right here, chapter 3. And that one, if we let it open here, thinking about it, is on journal article reporting standards. So a little bit about like what you can find and so on, terminology and different sections and all that. And again, I'm sorry that it's not like a perfect scan, but hopefully it's good enough. And again, it's free. So make sure this week that you not only read through my lecture, but that you also read through these 2 chapters. Those are your readings for this week instead of reading from our normal textbook. I also did make a lecture video for you as always. I kept it kind of short because I asked you to watch that other one that Jasmine made. But it is going to be really helpful. I went over some of the kind of bulleted things that she did not. And there might be a little bit of overlap, but hopefully that will just make it easier to remember. So those are the big components for this week to like focus on in terms of reading, read through the lecture, read through these 2 chapters and watch the lecture video. Your discussion this week, discussion number 12, as always, you have my instructions up here at the top. Don't forget to think about these as like kind of like mini papers, really show off your knowledge and understanding of the materials. I have my video here, which might be helpful for you to watch. But with this one, you're going to do a couple of different things. You're going to go to this APA style practice website and complete 2 different exercises. Don't worry too much about questions that involve like citation formatting, as we haven't covered it yet. But what you're going to be doing is looking at these 2 general exercises and kind of just getting your feet wet a little bit with playing around with APA style formatting. I also would like you to review this formatting checklist, this title guide, and sample page. And then using these 3 things here and the resources from our reading this week, you're going to then complete the following. So you'll do this website. You're going to share your experience. What were your kind of general results with those exercises? Feel free to share what was most confusing. APA formatting is confusing. And if you're finding it confusing, that's okay. You're welcome to kind of vent and talk about that a little bit here as well. The second piece and the part that's worth the most points is number 2. You are going to be creating a title page with the information in the formatting checklist right here above. And then the title page guide, the sample title might be helpful for you, and then everything from the lecture. So you'll need to come up with a fictional title for your paper, along with filling in all of your author information. You can either attach the cover page, or you can just, like somebody did right here, or you can include it as an image like many of you did with your graphs last week. But that title page, make sure it's formatted perfectly. I'm looking at formatting in addition to content, and I'm going to be grading it for both. So again, remember this formatting checklist, the title page guide, the sample, and then everything that I gave you in the lecture, along with her video, should be really helpful for allowing you to do this successfully and get those full points this week. So don't forget to reply to me and then also reply to a classmate to get those full points. In addition to our discussion and the reading, you do have exam number 3 this week. So exam number 3 is right here if you click on the link. It's worth 50 points, just like the other 2 exams you've taken. It has 44 questions. It's due by this Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. and you have an hour to complete it like usual. So once you begin the exam, you only have that 1 attempt and you have an hour. So make sure that you're ready and organized and all set before you begin. So make sure you have good internet, make sure you have an hour, a quiet place to take the test, that you've studied and prepared. As I mentioned last time, if it were me, I would write out everything on the study guide so I wasn't trying to find it during the exam and using up that valuable test time. Canvas will stop your test when you reach the deadline, so just make sure you're mindful of the time. Make sure that you submit it when you're done. You'll get a score instantly once you do complete the exam. Okay, so I hope you all do really well on this. It should be very straightforward and clear if you're doing your reading and you are following along. I did give you a study guide, which is right underneath the exam. So if you click on that, okay. Sorry here. If you click on that, you can see all of the terms that you need to know. So this one is on chapter 10, chapter 11, these pages, chapter 12, and then the APA formatting part 2 that we are doing this week. So make sure that you know all of the terms from 10, 11, 12, and APA formatting part 2 that are on here. And again, if it were me, I'd write or type them all out. And that would ensure that I have everything that I possibly need to know to be successful on the exam. And it's the same format and style, so if you did well on the last one, hopefully this one will go just as well for you. Okay. I do have a couple of reminders for you, and then I'll give you that Twitch extra credit question. Are there any questions at all for me at the moment? Let me give you a few reminders, and then if you think of any questions, you can go ahead and put them into the chat. Okay, so, oops, sorry, I'm pushing buttons here. So reminder number 1, please take a moment, as always, to double check your subscription status. As we, hit the month mark every month or so, I will remind you to make sure it's renewed because it is only good for 30 days and several of you have fallen off. So if you could renew that, that will allow you to have all the benefits of that. And if you're watching this later as a recording, that will allow you to still answer the question on Canvas. Don't forget as well, I'm going to put this in here, our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday, November 8th next week. Geez, at 12:30 p.m. Okay, so our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday next week at 12:30, trying to stick with our usual day and time. And then let me give you the extra credit question. That way you can answer this. And this is for week number 12. Okay, so this is the week number 12. Wow, I cannot write and talk. Sorry about that. Week number 12, Twitch extra credit question. And I'm putting it here in the chat for you. In order, what are the sections in a typical APA style empirical article? So in order, what sections would you find in a typical APA style empirical article? So if you can go ahead and answer that, and if you'd like to answer that, you go back to Canvas, click on extra credit number 12. Oh, where is it? It's missing. Optional extra credit number 12. Am I just not seeing it? Oh, well, that might make it very difficult for you to answer that. So I have it under week 13 and 14 and every other week. So I will add that for you in after we finish here so that you can go ahead and answer that. That's so strange. I wonder why it disappeared. But what I will do is I'll add it right here. You'll click on it and you can submit your answer like you've done for every other one. I'm like, it's right here. Just click on it. And then I couldn't find it. So I will go ahead and fix that for all of you as soon as we finish up this live stream. Okay. So I will hang out for a little bit. If any of you do have any questions for me, I'm just scrolling down just to make sure that I didn't just like not click on it. Nope, it's literally not there. So I will fix that. But if you have any questions, I'll hang out for a few minutes. It is there? Am I just completely missing it? I just don't see it at all. Formatting. Huh. You see it though on your end? So week number 13, that's next week, obviously, but I don't see it. Huh. Well, I will check. Either way, yeah, I don't see it either. So I will go ahead and check and make sure. And if it's not there, I will put it there for you. That way you can answer the question to get the points for joining me. So anyway, I will hang out for a few minutes and I will be happy to answer any questions if you have them. Otherwise, have a wonderful week. Enjoy November. And I will hope to see you next week. And again, I will go work on updating that. Okay, good. So you see it in the chat, not in Canvas. Yep, that's same for me. So I will update that in a minute here, and then you'll be able to answer it at some point during the rest of the week. Okay, so have a wonderful week, everyone. I'm going to minimize my video so I'm not staring at myself. But if you do have any questions, I will hang out for a little bit. Thank you for those of you who joined me, and I will hope to see you next week. All right, it is there now, and now you should be able to do it at any time.